There's a lot of frustration right now around this Browns team after dropping 3 in a row. But I think it's fair to ask this question before we get into today's roundup from the debacle that was Week 6 against the Patriots. Should Kevin Stefanski be on the hot seat? I asked this question, very curious to see what you guys have to say, because Stefanski's got a lot of pros to him, but the cons right now, it might be outweighing those pros. Welcome into the 2-4 Cleveland Browns report. Cleveland dropping at 38-15 to the Patriots in a game they never looked competitive once, right? Not one time did you have the sense that the Browns might come away with this game and eke out a victory. And that's what Bill Belichick can do to you. So we're going to go through a lot of rumor roundup following this loss to New England. But first things first, Joe Woods and Mike Priefer are done. That's your defensive coordinator and your special teams coordinator. They are done. I don't think we need to spend much more time on this conversation, on this subject, do we? The only question I have is, when are they going to be done in Berea? Is it a midseason change? Is it following the bye week going into Miami? Or is it the end of the season? Because Kevin Stefanski is a pretty good offense with a backup QB right now. And he is tired of this defense and special teams dragging it down and bringing him down by association. Now, he is the head coach, so he oversees all. I'm not giving him a pass for that. But those two guys, they're just done. I'm done with them. You're done with them. We don't need to beat a dead horse anymore. It's over with. Now, in case you missed it, before the game on Sunday, I had an inkling that this might happen. And so I came out with a list of 5 possible Joe Woods replacements. Video is on the channel. If you want to go check it out, see who some possible names out there, some under-the-radar names, some popular names like Zimmer and Greg Williams. Check it out over there on our channel. All right, let's get into the rumors now following this loss here. First one up, Kevin Stefanski. Should he be on the hot seat? I'm giving this 2 Bernie heads. I think you have to be above 50% right now. When you drop 3 in a row with this much talent on your roster, talent just doesn't disappear overnight, right? This defense is bad. It's just a lot of names that are not living up to their expectations. And you can put that all on Joe Woods, and he deserves a lot of heat. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. You are the head coach. And for the second time in the Stefanski era, he is going to be dropped 3 in a row here, all right? This team has shown little fight, little resilience when things don't go to plan. And now I'm wondering this question. Who is the leader of this team, right? Who do you think is the leader of this Cleveland Browns team right now? Because we have not seen anyone step up and go, shit has hit the fan, we got to turn it around. That should fall to the head coach. And he has not given me that post-game Mike Vrabel, Dan Campbell-esque bite some kneecaps off type of speech where you feel that he's going to go in there and give a Herb Brooks-esque speech and turn this thing around. Because listen, Stefanski, at the end of the day, you are the head coach. You're not an offensive coordinator. So I don't think it's fair to just go, well, his offense is doing really well. And that's been my excuse for a while at this point. But now I've reached a breaking point where it's, you know what? You also are responsible for the defense and special teams and all 53 players on your roster. Not just the 11 on offense. The Browns offense this year, when you look at the numbers, been pretty good. For a backup QB in Jacoby Brissett, putting up 3 touchdowns and more, that's 7th best in the NFL. Like, the offense is not the issue. The offense was absolutely a problem against New England. Don't get me wrong on that frontier. But I'll accept the offense having some bad days here and there. That's going to happen in the NFL. No team goes 17-0, right? But Nick Chubb getting 12 carries, this game got away from the Browns. They fell into a hole early, and they were forced to try and dig out of it or climb out of it by throwing the football, which resulted in them just digging a deeper hole here. 12 carries, 56 yards. Chubb had a good run in the second half, but in the first half, he was really contained. And this also should go back to the offensive line. Not much push for him. Not much alleys being opened up. So when I think about Kevin Stefanski as a head coach, I've had 3 shortcomings on his part. Defense and special teams. You are the head coach, not the offensive coordinator. You are responsible for those two parts of the game. And we have seen lots of defensive head coaches in their lifetime lose their job because they couldn't get the offense down, right? Vic Fangio, Mike Zimmer, two guys that come to mind. For Stefanski, if you can't get those two aspects of the game down, 2/3 of the game, what are we doing? Because you're not just in charge of the offense. Play calling in key moments is my next shortcoming I have with Kevin. Time after time, we have seen this team, like the Chargers game, the Falcons, in key situational moments, in the red zone, late in the first half, late in the second half, just blunder it. From the Chargers first half, remember that ending last year, to this year. For 3rd and goal, run with Jacoby Brissett, a bootleg. No. A lot of key moments he has just botched, in my opinion. And then I go back to the leadership question. Is Kevin Stefanski a football leader? He is someone that can walk into a locker room when everyone's faces are down and he can pick them up. I mean, here's what he said after the loss yesterday. You want everybody to be themselves in that regard. So if they are vocal, you want them to be vocal. Leading by example is really, really important. We encourage them to lead in different ways. It's a matter of doing and less talking. Well, someone better start leading, because right now it doesn't look like anyone is. Now, we saw this come across the newswire today. I have no idea what to make of this. Seth Walder, who works at ESPN in the analytics department, tweeting out that the Browns are hiring 2 new analytics analysts, I guess. Brendan Latmere and Austin Grossel. I don't know who these guys are. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think bringing in Brennan and Austin are going to change much. I think it's Kevin Stefanski maybe having less faith in his current coaching staff and maybe taking some off of his plate and delegating elsewhere, if I had to make an educated guess. But we have that to talk about right now. So, yeah, go analytics, because that's the problem right now. Ridiculous. All right, here's the big question that I've seen tossed around a lot, and I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention here. I think it's a very fair question. Who is the leader of this team, right? Let me put it this way. If this team, if there was a Browns game in the playoffs and there was a delay in the third quarter and like a rain delay and everyone went into the locker room and the Browns are down by 10 points, who is the guy that's going to get in front of the room and give a speech to turn things around? I don't have a very good answer for that. It's not Nick Chubb. He is a silent leader. He's not a vocal leader. Myles Garrett, I don't really think he is going to. Deshaun Watson's going to be that guy, but he's not here right now. And this season, I refuse to punt on. So for that reason, I want you guys to let me know, who is the leader? Please, fill me in. All right, next rumor to get to here. So the Browns hire Sean Payton. We're going to keep this one nice and short. It's one Bernie head. One, it should be fake news because you can't hire Sean Payton. Sean Payton retired from the New Orleans Saints. Kind of like when Calvin Johnson, if you remember that, when he retired from the Lions, and everyone's like, could he go play somewhere else after a year? No, the Lions held his rights just like how the Saints have Sean Payton's rights. So they can't just relinquish him and let him go anywhere unless they want to, which they're not going to. So an NFL team, like I said, would have to trade for Sean Payton. Not hire him. Trade for him. And Sean Payton would have to be on board with this. This is not just a player being moved. The Saints are not just going to send this guy to the sun. He won a lot for them, right? He won a Super Bowl for them. So if you're curious what recent trades involving head coaches have looked like, we can go back to the Bruce Arians trade when he went from the Cardinals after he retired to the Bucs, and it cost a late day 3 swap. Would that be the same for Sean Payton? It's hard to say. I really have no idea. I don't know if the Saints would want a first rounder for their coach or if they would just kind of let him go free and say, thank you for what you did down here in the Big Easy. Happy trails wherever you want to go. I don't think it's going to be Cleveland. I could see Dallas being an option for him if Dan Quinn doesn't take over for Mike McCarthy. I think wherever Sean Payton ends up, because I think he will return, it'll be a spot he has a connection to. I don't think that spot is Cleveland. All right, we are in a sub-battle for Week 7 against our Ravens Rundown channel here at Chat Sports. So we're starting even at 0-0. So if you hate the Ravens, you hate the Crows, hit that big red button and subscribe. I want to beat them not only on the field this upcoming week, but also in subscribers within the walls here of Chat Sports. All right, next rumor to get to is, should the Browns be considering benching Jacoby Brissett? Fake news. It's not going to happen. I won't even give it one Bernie head. I don't see this happening unless Jacoby Brissett, I wouldn't say he gets hurt. I think the Browns are confident in Brissett. They know he had a bad game. He missed throws. He missed opportunities. But Kevin Stefanski saying, following the loss, that the Browns are not considering or giving any thought to changing at quarterback right now. And Brissett is the starter. But like I said, Jacoby Brissett was bad. Let's just call it how it is. He was awful against the Pats, completing less than 50% of his passes. A lot of those yards coming at the end of the game. 1 touchdown, 3 turnovers. Jacoby Brissett stunk. But here's the bummer. In the Browns' 3 losses where they should have won, meaning they had a good opportunity to win, Jacoby Brissett played some of his best football. You go back to that Jets game, 229 yards. I mean, no one from all 3 of these losses walked away, except maybe the Chargers game at the end, and felt Jacoby Brissett was the number one reason why this team did not win. So if you're going to get the best out of Brissett and still lose, that's going to be frustrating. Now here come the Dobbs truthers. And I like Josh Dobbs. I do. Went to my alma mater. Got to watch him play 2016. I have nothing against Josh Dobbs, but I'm not going to throw him out there because of what he did in some preseason games against third-string DBs. That is way too low of a bar to decide a change must be made, right? I'm not going to play into the Dobbs side of things just because Brissett is stinking right now. And if you think it can't get worse, trust me, it can. Look at Baker and the Panthers. I don't even know why I bring Baker into this, but there are worse quarterbacks out there than Jacoby Brissett this year. And that's coming from me right now, who was all for trading for Jimmy Garoppolo back in the summer, whenever that was now. But pick a quarterback, Jacoby Brissett or Josh Dobbs. Put the jersey number for the guy you think should be starting this week against the Ravens. Now, before we wrap up today's show and get on out of here, I got to tell you all about BetUS. That is our proud sportsbook partner at Chat Sports, and they're offering the Dog Pound a 125% deposit bonus. So get over to chatsports.com/bet, use promo code Browns125, and when you use that promo code with that link, that's when you get the deposit bonus. So make all your picks this year at chatsports.com/bet, promo code Browns125. I liked this tweet a lot from Mary Kay yesterday, and I wanted to show it to you guys. Jack Conklin reminded his teammates that he started 2-4 with the Titans, finished 9-7, and got all the way to the AFC Championship game. Remember, that's when the Titans, 2018? Yeah, went to Baltimore, knocked off the Ravens, the top seed, on the road. We need to catch fire. We still have the division ahead of us. The good news for the Browns is the AFC North kind of sucks right now. I mean, the Steelers somehow won against the Bucs, but the rest of the division, the Ravens, they lost to the Giants. The Bengals pulled one out against the Saints. So before we get on out of here, as always, it's our time for the comment of the day, coming from Peter with one heck of a burner number, 123, 96, 69, whatever. Peter saying season is over. Going 0-5 the next 5 games, playing Ravens, Bengals, Dolphins. Tua will be back, Bills, and Bucks. No freaking way they win these games. Enough said. I get that. I do. But this is the NFL we're talking about. So if we could end with some optimism, it is, look around the league right now. Like, look at the Ravens. You think it's bad in Cleveland? They just blew it to the Giants in the fourth quarter. Another fourth quarter lead blown for Baltimore. The Bengals are 3-3. They don't look like the defending AFC champs, do they? The Dolphins have their issues right now. They've dropped a couple in a row. Sure, they'll have Tua back by then, but still. The Bills are the Bills. There's no much comment that can be made there. The Bucks are 3-3. The Bucks just lost to Mitch Trubisky and the Steelers. So, yeah, it's not good in Cleveland right now, but for the teams they have coming up, I know it's the toughest remaining schedule in the NFL, but all those fan bases are not super pumped with where their team is right now, with the exception of the Bills. So why can't the Browns play spoiler those coming weeks there and make things worse for that fan base? All right, that is going to do it for us on today's show. Appreciate all of you guys for clicking onto it, making us a part of your day. Going to sign off. See you all later. Go Browns.